We light up the world. We light up the world.
All right, so we're going to start with Fire to Inspire. We have Coach Wellington today, Stormy Wellington, and we're going to start with a quote of the day. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Oh, honey, when I read that in the book, I was like, wow. Because a lot of times we start out saying, you know what, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. No, it's up to me. I have a very special guest on the show today, known as Coach Stormy, but you know her as Stormy Wellington. Welcome to the show, my dear. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful that you came today. How are you? What's going on?
I'm grateful. I'm excited to be here. I love your spirit. I love just what I'm feeling right now, and I'm just grateful that you invited me to the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Where do I begin? She's a top producer at a multi-level marketing company. She's the #1 best-selling author. She's a renowned inspirational speaker and a wealth coach. You produce like over 10 millionaires by now, right?
In the last 4 years, 10, but in the last 10 years, probably about 16, 17.
Wow. And she's also the visionary of Girl Hold My Hand. And she's currently opened up 2 restaurants. And it's, what is it, 2 Flying Biscuits?
Flying Biscuits in
girl,
South Florida.
That is so big. I'm so
excited.
proud of you.
Thank you.
That's one of my favorite places. I like them biscuits.
Ooh, tell me about it. And the grits. Oh, my grits. Yes.
It's going to be so good. Wow. It's all I got to say. So listen, Linda, how in the world do you do that?
You know, the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that question, my dad always says mind over matter. And for me, I just have the desire to be one of the most impactful African-American women that ever lived. And so in order to do that, I got to keep it moving. I got to stay busy. So everything I do is things that I love. So it doesn't feel like work. So no, I really don't. There's a lot on my plate, but I want to eat.
So what does it mean to be Stormy Wellington? What does that mean on a daily basis? Because you're a spitfire. And guess what? I don't let anybody on this show unless they got a little fire behind them.
Right.
Because
like you. Humble fire, though.
Right, a humble fire, but a little bit like you've gone through some hell.
Yes.
And now you're a diamond.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to bring people in there that can really give me the nitty-gritty of what they've been through, because we've all had a story.
Yes.
We've all been through it, but some of the stories we don't want to tell. And that's why I appreciate you, because you're raw, you're real, and you don't hide your scars.
No.
You let them open, and you say, God, thank you for these scars, because now you can celebrate who you are.
Yes.
So, you know what? Tell us a little bit about your history. Like, where did you come from?
So I was born in New York to a mother and a father that literally my mom was on the way to having an abortion with me. And my dad intervened. Fate stepped in, and I'm here.
Wow.
My dad and I just had a conversation last year that changed my life to the point where I understand why I'm a fighter. I was born in a fight. My dad told me last year jokingly that the night that I was intimate with your mom and we conceived you, I had to fight to get that.
He had to fight to get it.
So it's like he had to fight to get it that night. He had to fight to bring me in this world because she was about to have an abortion.
Oh, wow.
My mom had a very, stormy relationship with my dad. And so she named me after 3 days. And my life has been stormy. It has been full of turmoil. It has been full of ups and downs. My life has not been no crystal stair. I've been through a lot, but I'm grateful for it all.
And you don't look like it.
No,
some people look like what they go through.
I was in foster care
You don't look
for like 2 years of my life, from the age of about 7 to 9. I've been molested. I've been abandoned. I started my journey as an exotic dancer, stripper at the age of 13. My first time in a strip club, I was 13.
Oh, okay.
I had my first child at 15. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade, literally 6-7 months into the 9th grade, dropped out. And because of that, I ended up pursuing being an exotic dancer more full-time. Born in New York, but grew up in the streets of Miami, Florida. I proudly wear the 305 the Carol City stamp on my chest. But you know what? I'm like most women. I mean, especially African-American women. A lot of us, we all have a story.
Yeah.
But it's what we do with their story. It's what we do with their journey. It's what we do, with the process that God allows us to experience. What we do with it. That's why I say if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Amen.
Amen. What we decide to do with everything that we experience creates who we become. Our destiny is based upon every decision we make in life. Being in foster care, not having a family that I felt cared for me, being from pillar to post, not having my mom as a young girl, having to fight off, men, having to be picked on and no Christmases and not knowing when your mom was coming to get you.
You grew up fast.
I grew up fast, but I grew up a little scared too. You know, I mean, imagine you're 7, 8, 9 years old and you're in foster care, not knowing anything. Is mommy ever coming to get me?
Wow.
And not that my mom didn't want me, but my mom was a street hustler. My mom sold drugs. And so she actually went to jail. She did a lot of fed time. And while she was in the feds, the person she left us with started to abuse us. She beat us with water hose. Literally, my brother got second-degree burns, and he wasn't even fully healed. And she used to beat us with water hose.
Wow.
And I remember that phase of my life having to rescue my brother and I from this lady. I'm the one called Child Protective Services. So when we finally went to foster care, it was like a bittersweet moment. We got rescued from the abuse, but we was in foster care.
Yeah, and that's kind of scary, right?
I could honestly remember that was probably the most scariest time of my childhood that I would never forget. But it doesn't bring me to tears anymore. It's like, girl, you a fighter, girl.
I mean,
do
look
the
at
damn
you.
thing.
Look what God has did. You have recycled your pain.
Absolutely.
And turned it into power.
Absolutely.
You see, I've kind of recycled your quotes, baby, because
Yeah,
you have them coming.
I was going to say, girl, that's what I love. I love it.
Because you recycled that pain, and I love to hear when dope dealers in the game. Let's be real. Dope dealers in the game get out of the game. But as long as you hear God's conscience, like you be conscious and say, you know what, I can change.
Yes.
You make that change.
Yes.
And it was up to you. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
So let's get a little raw. So you said you started at the age of 13.
My first time in strip club, I was 13.
And then you had your first child at 15.
At 15.
So you went completely into survival mode at that moment.
Shoot,
when you had your baby.
Yeah, but I was in survival mode since I was 7, to be honest with you. Ever since I went to foster care, I had to survive and figure it out for myself.
And the reason why I'm asking that, because this show is not judgmental.
Oh, I love it.
I want to dig in a little bit, but then we'll come out. There's so many girls that come from the homes and they go to college, they're out on their own. And to me, it's like a pool of being independent. It's like you have to know how to do your thing. And sometimes, and sometimes, you don't know what wolves are coming at you.
Yes.
And you got these men sliding in. You got people just want to fit in and they want to keep up with the Joneses. They want to look good.
Right.
So I feel like all of us, I'm going to just be real, have done something strange for a piece of change.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? People are never going to tell that story.
No,
that's why I appreciate you. So what I want to ask is, how did you get influenced into that profession of being an exotic dancer?
Wow, that's a good question.
I want to know that moment of why did you make that decision to go there?
Great
because
question.
all of us have that moment.
Yes.
What I just said now.
Yes.
But what was that decision to make that decision at 7? You said 13 or 7?
My first time in the club and literally making
13.
some money in the club, I was 13.
Okay.
So let's kind of just go back.
Okay.
Imagine you wake up and you have no water. So you have nowhere to take a bath. And I had a friend, I'll never forget, her name was Mona. Mona, I hope you see this one day, Mona, come find me. Mona was 16 years old, and she had that exotic Indian look. And she was fabulous. This was her hair in real life, okay? And she was fine. And Mona used to live on my street, and she used to come home from wherever, I didn't know where she was at the time, with all of this money, like dollars, fives, like literally Mona would come home with like $2,000-$3,000, and she would just throw it on the floor. And I was like, well, and she was like, I got a fake ID, and I danced. She was 16 years old, but she was fine. She was very developed. Long story short, I had a good friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name. His father owned a strip club. And I always was much more mature and seemed more mature and looked more mature and handled myself like a lady. And he invited me to a strip club called Bootleggers. And I borrowed my best friend. She had a cute suede black skirt. Said, I said, girl, let me hold it. This before Instagram and Facebook, so you could borrow your friend's clothes and nobody would know.
Nobody.
Exactly. So I borrowed her outfit. Her shoes, we wore the same size. And I went into the strip club that night. And remember, my water was off. And this guy was like, hey, if you lift up your skirt, because you fine, girl, I'll give you $600.
Oh, wait.
And I remember that day like it was yesterday. At first, I hesitated reluctantly, and I was like, man, I could get my water turned on. All I got to do was lift up my skirt. Oh, baby, that skirt got lifted up, and that water bill was paid the next day.
That water bill was paid.
And I was like, this is easy. All I got to do is use my body as a tool and just let somebody see me for $600. That's pretty easy. So that was my first exposure myself after being exposed by my friend who showed me that, hey, girl, you can make some money. See, I danced back in the days. I don't know if I have a show out.
Beyond the Pole?
Yeah. I danced back in the days where dancers sachet. That's it. We didn't do the trick, pole tricks and all that. So to go and make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and all you had to do is be sexy. Okay, that was pretty easy. So at 13, so
wow. You know what? Thank you for sharing that. And I just want people to be true to themselves. Just own who you are. Celebrate your scars.
Yes.
But just celebrate what God can bring you out of.
Amen.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point. It's not about putting your business out, putting my business out. It's about recognizing where you are and saying, I don't have to stay here.
But see, I believe your story becomes somebody else's school.
Ooh, come on.
So
come on.
I'm a prime example of, for real, self-educated, self-taught. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. So I'm bits and pieces of my story, my experiences, my failures, my pain. But I've learned more from other people than I've learned from traditional education. So your story could become somebody else's school. That's why, to me, it's important that you overcome whatever you're going through and become transparent to teach somebody else your story, somebody else's school.
Oh, wow. That's good. I love when you mention in your book, 9 Laws of Success. Y'all got to check this out. It's so good. I have decided to engage in a vision bigger than myself so that nothing or no one gets in the way. What was your vision?
So that mantra was created when I was married. I got married after my mom passed away. I felt like I was in the world by myself, so I prematurely got married to a man that, not a bad person, but he just was not my husband.
Oh my God, you sound just like, please stop being me right now.
Yeah, he just
my first husband. Yeah, I say that exactly the same way.
Yeah, he's not a horrible person. He just wasn't my husband. And so I started to become this person that I was not. Like, I'm a natural born hustler. Like, I was already naturally, instinctively. I sold candy in school. I sold fake watches in school. I did hair in school. Like, I mean, Yeah. So what ended up happening in about 2000, and my mom died 2011, about 2013, 14, I found myself from millionaire now to broke. I'm living in a house that I'm renting. Living this nightmare, selling this dream. My Porsche was in repo status. 4 of my friends actually lost, her husband lost his job, and I looked up, and it's my family and 4 other people in my house, and I had made millions of dollars in network marketing and decided to step out of network marketing, and I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing in I just felt like, what happened to me the first phase of my life, where I made my first million before 30 years old, was just luck. So I was really down on myself. And so I ended up getting exposed to network marketing again. And I remember my best friend, Annetta, telling me, you know what, network marketing is just something that you're good at. But I didn't believe that. She was like, it's not network marketing.
She saw the fire in you.
She just used to speak life. Like she told me, SW, you need to get back into network marketing. And so long story short, I was like, no. But I got involved back in network marketing with a company called TLC, where we just sell all these amazing products. And so when I first looked at the compensation, I looked at the company, I looked at the products, I'm like, man, I wish I could do this again, but I didn't believe in me. And you can't do nothing if you don't believe in you. I don't care what you try to put your hands on. If you don't believe in you, nothing is possible. For real. Amen. And so I had to rehabilitate myself. And I had to speak life into myself. And
build your brain.
Myself. Yeah. I had to build myself. A pastor couldn't do it. Nobody can do what I needed to do for myself. And so my mantra, and I'm unhappy married, sleeping in the bed with somebody that I felt was the enemy, for real. Like, I was sleeping with the enemy.
I know what that feels like.
To the point where we started to sleep in separate rooms. I was sleeping in my son's room. He was sleeping in our room. And I would imagine living in a home with someone that y'all cohabitating and y'all walking past each other like roommates.
Right.
So I had to speak to myself. When I would walk past and we wouldn't say one word to each other. I would say, I have decided to engage in a vision bigger than myself so that nothing or no one can get in the way. I go in the room to get something. I have decided to engage in a vision bigger. So, because he would say things that people would try to discourage me. So I had to speak life into myself. So that mantra really set me free and gave me the fortitude and the power to go out there and make $1 million in 7 months.
7 months. That's killing. That's blowing my mind. There's something in the book. I have to read it verbatim. This is my favorite part, because let me just say this. It made me cry. You say right here about, I want to know why the number 9 is significant to you, but I'm gonna read this. It says, the number 9 is the number of patience, of harmony, of meditation, inspiration, and the perfection of ideas. All of these factors are the basis of success. And then you go over here and say, this is when I had my hallelujah moment. You said the number 9 is the perfect movement of God. And I know that his will for us is to be our best and to serve our purpose for which we were put on earth. I don't know, that might sound so simple to somebody else, but it's 2019. Mm-hmm. And I just decided to beat the bully of fear and step out on faith. When you said that 9 was patience, inspiration, and perfect movement of God, girl, that moved me off the couch. So why is the number 9 significant?
To give you confirmation through these 9s. The love of my life birthday is August 9th. It's like all of these 9s.
And see, my number was 3. I saw 333 everywhere when I started this journey.
What this?
I did.
Oh my God!
And God spoke through me. I cried like a baby.
So you know what 333 means?
I do. And then I started after 333. After I said yes to His destiny, because I knew what it was. And I said, God, I don't know. I can't do this. I started arguing back. I talked to Him like that. Like I'm in the room by myself. Like, God, please don't make me do this. I don't know now. That's too much. Now tell me about Girl Hold My Hand real quick. Like, what's that foundation about?
So subconsciously, I believe that Girl Hold My Hand was speaking through me and to me in the passing of my mom. Like, I held her hand. I took a wet cloth to calm her down because she was sweating and was clammy. And about 2017, I went to a women's event. And I like to dress up, even when I was broke, even when I was stealing the clothes.
I like to play.
Even when I was stealing the clothes. Make sure y'all heard that. I always dressed up, so
you
nobody can
tell
say,
me. I love it.
You know, she got money and now she thinks she better know, baby. When I was stealing the clothes, running out of the stores, writing a check and doing credit cards for the clothes, I stayed fly. Okay, so I went to this women's event and I was fly. I had on my Gucci, and I'm not your typical coach. You know, I'm not your typical I don't look like your typical inspirational, speaker. So I love that. So I went to this women's event, and imagine the seats filled with women, and everybody was fly. Everybody had their Chanel bags, their Gucci bags, their Birkin bags, their Prada bags. Everybody had on their red bottoms, and all these beautiful black women with their beautiful weaves and wigs, and everybody with their legs crossed, looking straight ahead. Nobody talking to each other. Everybody in their phones. And I walked in the room, Angel, and I felt this heavy spirit. And I could have walked in and blended in with them and just did my thing too. It was time for me to speak and sit down because I'm Stormy Wellington.
That's not you.
But I
That's
walked
not
in,
your flavor.
it wasn't even my time to speak. And I just got up. I said, "Excuse me, it wasn't even my time to speak." I started cracking. I say, "Hey, let me tell you something. Can y'all do me one big favor?" I say, "Can y'all please, everybody put your phone down, please. Just do me a favor. Amen. Can y'all do this for me?" And I just got very emotional. I said, "Look at the girl next to you. The girl next to you is dealing with some pain just like you. The girl next to you has insecurities, fears, failures, doubts, has been betrayed, has been abandoned, just like you." I said, "Can you hold the girl hand next to you and just let the girl know that I see you?" And girl, before I could even get them to hold hands, everybody was in the room crying, holding hands.
Oh, the Holy Spirit took over the whole room.
It wasn't even in 5 minutes. Wow! And from that moment on, it was like, "Girl, hold my hand." And so for me, I feel that a part of my responsibility is to be that transparent voice in the Black community. To help women understand that we could collaborate. We don't have to freaking, feel like we're in competition with each other. That we all of us want happiness. All of us want love. All of us want money. All of us want good health. We all want the same damn thing.
We want the same thing.
So why am I mad with you? Why am I intimidated by you? Why am I jealous of you? Why am I trying to beat you down, tear down your bridge, think I'm going to build mine up? And in that moment, I realized that, you know what? If I could just get every woman to understand, love yourself, know yourself, embrace yourself, then connect, collaborate, and celebrate. It's a process. Girl, Hold My Hand is about know yourself, love yourself, embrace yourself first. That's like, elementary school. Then you graduate. And then you could connect, collaborate, and celebrate. Like, we would not be here authentically having this conversation if we didn't already know ourselves, love ourselves, and embrace ourselves. Now we could connect, collaborate, and celebrate. 3, 4, 5 years ago, when you was hanging from the chandeliers, when I was in the strip club or whatever, we would have been looking at each other probably just like them. But now that we are free to be us, we love ourselves. I could tell you love yourself. I do. I could tell. Wherever you are in your life, you love yourself. I do. That's why you could connect with me and not look at me like.
No.
And that's why I could connect with you, because the self-love for you is there. And so I learned that we have to get women to love themselves. And really and truly, man, a lot of women don't love themselves. And it has nothing to do with how you dress yourself up.
It's because of lack of confidence. I want to know, how did you develop that I deserve it type of spirit? Like, that I deserve it mentality. And you stayed humble at the same time. Because I think my problem is I know that I have a confidence in me, but I feel like I'm too humble. And people run all over me, or you can have too much confidence and then you're arrogant. And see, God will tear that down quick, you know. But so that's something I won't do. I just won't do it. But my thing is, how do you develop like that I deserve it type of mentality and still keep your head up? Let everybody in the room see your flavor, your spice.
I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, I feel like I've been through so much. So much. There's no way the God that we serve would take me through all of this hurt, betrayal, fear, failure. He did not create me to live this life. And it was like a self-conversation that I had with myself, a very serious self-talk, self-assessment, self-evaluation with myself, to the point where I'm like, it's just no way. I mean, even when I got the real courage to get a divorce, it really was like, there's no way, and this is no offense to him or anybody else that's in a marriage or may not feel how I felt, but I remember looking at him one day saying, there's no way this is my gift from God. There's no way that God birthed me to live this horrible life. So I think it gets to a point where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and when you get to that point, you say, to hell with this. I remember cursing myself out in the mirror, like to myself, like I talk to myself. I literally talk to myself, ask myself questions. I'd be in the mirror saying, girl, like I talk to myself.
Affirmations, yeah.
Yeah, and so I just really said, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I said, there's no way that God created me to live this horrible life, to not become nothing, to just work a job, pay bills, and then die. It just didn't make sense. So I was in real pursuit of happiness, and so I'm always in self-discovery mode, because I think you become somebody new every day. Whatever you experienced yesterday, you could experience something today that changes your whole perspective.
You are the temperature of your own season.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Are. And even in the room, wherever you are, I believe in that.
So I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I said, I can't go There's no way I could go further down than this. It got to be the way
I know.
up.
You have nothing to lose. No. Nothing else to lose.
Nothing else to
right?
lose.
That's
nothing
the real.
else to lose, sister,
nothing
honey.
else to lose.
Touch me on that
yes,
one. Nothing
yes,
else,
girl.
to
Hold
lose.
my hand.
Hold my hand, sister.
So tell us about that moment when you knew that you were a millionaire, because you became a millionaire quickly. And I remember you like, were you 29?
My first million, I was 29. Yeah. There you go.
You was 29, and so tell me about what that felt like. How did you? I want to know that moment when you found out you were a millionaire, that you made a million. What was your first reaction?
So honestly, I think that's why I'm so humble now, because I was cocky then.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I was arrogant. I was like, excuse me, like, F you, whatever. Who cares? My stuff don't stink, you know. So my first million, I think, was a different experience. I never remember back then seeing $1 million in my account at one time.
Okay.
Like now. But I had amassed $1 million in a 12-month period, according to my 1099, according to my checks and all of that. But I never saw it at one time. So it was different. You know, people think that you make money and you don't have to grow, but you can literally make a lot of money and still not have grown. That's why people win the lotto and go broke, because their mind doesn't match their money. You know, so the first time it was a different $1 million experience. It was more of lessons for me, lessons learned.
Now that's good.
Like I gave a lot of it away. I mean, like I would do stupid stuff. Like I would buy 2-3 Chanels, the same one, different colors. I would, I remember signing checks to my mom, and though I love her dearly, I would sign the bottom and tell her, write in whatever you want.
Ooh,
you know, people ask me for money, and I would just give it away, not a loan, no stipulations, and I mean, I just was blowing money. So the first experience was different. To me, your first million is your easiest million, actually. It's the second, third, and fourth ones that's hard. But the first one is really the easiest. Anyone who you have met that made $1 million before, they would tell you it's like easy come, easy go. Because you're not prepared for taxes. You don't understand you got to pay taxes.
Ooh, yeah.
There's still, when you make $1 million, you invested at least $250,000 to make the million. Like it's just, whether that's sweat equity, intellectual property, cash. So the first million was a different million. This million is more fulfilling. And even at that first juncture in my life, when I made my first million, I had probably produced maybe 3 millionaires. This million is more fulfilling because of the other lives that I've been able to touch, the other millions that's been able to be earned. And this time I did the right stuff. Like I'm up to date with the IRS. You know, I don't owe them.
Love it.
Trump.
Hey.
My house is paid off. I'm investing in other things.
Amen.
And I spend a lot on my mind too. Like I go to workshops. I pay $6,000-$7,000 to go to somebody's workshop real quick.
I'm that type of person.
Yeah,
I would love. Yeah,
I spend $100,000 to be a part of an association, like real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So my money now, it ain't going nowhere because I did the right things this time, and I believe in treating everybody with integrity and with fairness. I don't treat the bus boy, the lady mopping the floor less than I treat the owner of the building. So I've grown this time through this $1 million phase. But the first one was the biggest lesson and the biggest blessing of my entire life. But the first $1 million was the easiest. But it was, to me, this time about the person that I had to become. And I like who I've become. I really do. I like that I have not lost the different versions of me. Like how you said earlier. Uh-huh. You think you're too humble. No, I'm a lot of people. I have like 9 different people inside me. I will cuss your behind out when I need to. Pray with you when I need to. I will put you in your place when I need to.
I'm Angel, but my middle name is Keisha. Just like
this it is. Playing real.
Well, my middle name is Makisha. So y'all are family now. I never tell anybody that.
Yeah, don't forget about Makisha.
But you know what? That's Makisha will come out. Yes, it will. But I have to pray about Makisha. Sometimes you need Makisha because Makisha will get it done.
Yes, ma'am.
She'll get it done.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So this is our last question of the day.
Okay.
And our star question of the day. What fires you up to do exactly what you love on a daily basis?
I really feel like, whether this is true or not, whether it's just a lie I tell myself and I believe it, I feel like the world is watching. And I feel like if I give up as a black girl, a black woman, who is going to inspire the other black girls, the other black women? So I tell myself that this is my responsibility. So like if I post on Instagram or if I post on Facebook or if I do a live, I'm not bragging. I'm like, girl, get your ass up. If I could do this, I have a 9th grade education.
Come on.
I have 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies. I was married and divorced too. I was molested too. I was in foster care too. I done been tricked by dudes too. I done had people betray me too. I done had people steal from me too. I had low self-esteem, went through depression too. So if nobody is talking to us, then who's going to help us? So I really, really feel like this is my responsibility. Like this is my purpose. Whether you want to call it purpose, assignment, role, gift. Some people could sing, some people could dance. You know, I just feel like this is my, every pain, every failure, every setback, I believe, align me with my purpose.
You know what? God sees you as a lullaby. You went through a lot, but he sees you as a lullaby. You, when I watch you and when other people watch you, it just gives them courage to be and own who they are. Yes. You've changed me. Just by reading your book, I got free from, not just from fear.
Wow.
I'm going to let you know, thank you for that. And this is real. This is like, I don't care what it looked like, but you freed me from fear. Because if you can do it, even in your mud, in the thick of mud, you didn't care, but you know what? You changed. You changed. And it was up to you. And I'm proud of you, girl. I'm so proud of you. Oh, I'm so glad to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming today. So tell these people how they can get in touch with you and online, social media, and how they can shop for this amazing book, 9 Laws of Success.
So you can find the book on Amazon.com. You can find it at 9lawsofsuccess.com. You can find me on Instagram. That is my favorite place to be. Coach Stormy. You can see every facet of my life, the good, the bad, and sometimes the ugly. But yeah, you can find me at Coach Stormy on Instagram, Stormy Wellington on Facebook, or everything stormywellington.info. Right there.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us in A Party with a Purpose. And be sure to subscribe and review. I'll catch you next week.
We light up the